Joe, so you've been in Nu Skin for 15 years. Tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Nu Skin.
Well, Greg, it's incredible, isn't it? Today I was given my 15-year pin by Truman, and I mean, time flies. I've been here for 15 years now, and it's really, when I first came into Nu Skin, it was because Nu Skin acquired Pharmanex back in 1998. So after being one of the co-founders, we sold the company to Nu Skin 3 years later. So that was good, and the experience has been wonderful. And the challenge is that I came from a world when we were in Pharmanex all by ourselves, standalone company. Our products, our supplements, were actually sold and marketed in 38,000 stores around the country. So it was a good traditional business, mass market. We were doing well. In fact, we were profitable. And then as soon as we got into Nu Skin in 1998, the first thing we were told, and it was an interesting request, is that we have to recall all our products from those 38,000 stores.
Wow.
I mean, imagine that, right? Here's a profitable channel, and we are very successful in that channel. My immediate reaction is, why don't we just, as soon as we're in Nu Skin, continue that channel while creating this new network marketing channel to also get our products known to the public. Well, Blake never wanted that, and it was interesting that we recalled our products in December. I still remember the month where we sent a letter to all the 38,000 stores and got them to return all our products.
Wow.
And then we relaunched those products in January in the Nu Skin Enterprise channel. My first proof that this is a wonderful channel was based on the sales that we had in January 1999.
Wow.
That month, when we relaunched our products, that month's sales exceeded our prior 12 months total sales.
In 38,000 stores.
In 38,000 stores, 12 months of sales in those 38,000 stores. It was less than the sales that we accomplished in Nu Skin in 1 month.
Wow, the power of the channel.
It's the power of the channel. That really opened my eyes. And 15 years later, Greg, I'm still here, and every year we're beginning to innovate and bring new products to all our Nu Skin distributors.
Joe, tell us how you started Pharmanex.
Well, it's an interesting story, and I'm glad you asked, because it brings back wonderful memories for me. Well, 16 years ago, if you recall, I was actually in the drug industry. In other words, I was working for this company called Wired. And I had a friend by the name of Michael Chang, and he also worked in the drug industry. And he worked for another drug company called Merck up in Rahway, New Jersey. And we have been great friends for a long time. And so when one day we sat down, Mike sort of said, hey, are we interested in starting a new company? At that time, we sort of, both of us individually, we've been working for the drug industry for roughly more than 15 years now. So, and I said, what did you ask, Mike? And Mike said, well, I don't know about you, but every time I look into developing a new drug, we had to look at natural ingredients. And I always find this natural ingredient to be the most relevant and the most potent ingredient that we can use in the final drug. But my bosses always tell me you should not be interested in that because they were not patentable. I said, I'm curious you say that. I get exactly the same response from my bosses at Wyeth as well. And so it seems like the whole drug industry thinks that way. I wonder why, and I bet your bosses at Merck told you the same thing. Why at Wyeth, my bosses say, don't do any natural ingredients because they're not patentable, and therefore we can't make any money, right? And he said, yeah, that's why they're not interested. So, and I said, well, if they're not interested, could we start a company with this idea of turning natural ingredients into final products, in this instance, not into drugs, but into dietary or nutritional supplements? Mike said, that's a fascinating idea. Why don't we go start a company? That's the genesis of Pharmanex. Well, we started it and named the company Pharmanex. And by the way, Pharmanex was actually a name that we didn't use any fancy marketing company to come up with. It actually stands for the next generation of pharmaceutical companies.
Oh, I see.
Pharmanex, okay?
Got it.
So, and we said, well, we now need to go and get some funding for the company. Obviously, without funding, a company can't develop products, and we can't bring more scientists into Pharmanex. So Mike say, well, why don't you go write a business plan? I say, oh, I have to write a business plan? What about you? He said, no, you go to write the business plan. So we wrote the business plan and essentially got it going and took the business plan to a variety of investors. And these are investors who are pretty sophisticated. They're venture capitalists, in other words. And we raised $48 million from this simple business plan. That was amazing to me. But what is more impressive to me was the fact that the investors who came in were really smart people. Let me give you 3 examples of these investors. We had money from Fidelity Investments from Boston. We had money coming in from the Pritzker family, who owns the Hyatt hotel chain around the world. And then the third one was J.H. Whitney and Company. And they also gave us some money to invest in us.
And some pretty amazing products at the beginning. Well, T-Green, Cordomax,
BioGinkgo,
Reishi-Max.
Reishi-Max. They were pretty amazing products. In fact, sometimes when I think back, perhaps I should have split those products out and sold them individually to different companies and start a new company that way.
I don't know if you remember this, but back when when Nu Skin, I was working at Nu Skin, we came down to do some due diligence down in Simi Valley at the Pharmanex offices, and I remember when we brought our scientists and you brought your scientists. We're sitting at a table and we asked, hey, what kind of science do you have on this product called Cordymax? And do you remember what happened?
Yeah, great. It's interesting you brought that up. When you asked the question, now that I remember back, I said, you seriously? You really want all the scientific studies and substantiation studies that we did on Cordymax? And Greg said, yeah, you did, right? You said you wanted it. So we went out, and 10 minutes later, we rolled into the office where you were sitting to do the diligence. I think it was like 3 carts of paper that I think you had a heart attack when we rolled that in, right, Greg?
We did have a heart attack. Those 3 carts were stacked as high as could possibly hold on just papers and science. And I was the marketing arm, but our scientists at the time, eyes dropped and could not believe the science that had gone into those products.
No, those, like I said, it were great memories for me when you visited with us and we had to show you our science. And that's what our distributors should expect from us, in a sense, right? Because science is something that you actually have to go do the study.
Right.
You cannot say you're doing science if you're not actually doing it.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about the team. Once you came to Nu Skin and you brought this science and credibility, tell us what you've built here at Nu Skin in your R&D team.
Well, when we brought Pharmanex in, one of the major reasons why Nu Skin acquired Pharmanex was because of its R&D engine. It was a pretty potent engine, and right now we build that engine to a next level, and we have close to 75 scientists now around the world, 2 R&D centers in China, and we have a center here in Provo, and in about 2 years' time we're going to have a brand new innovation center. We are building that, $90 million. That's how committed this company is to supporting the scientists to make sure that we continue this tradition of innovation. And in October of last year, Greg, you may remember that we acquired this company called LifeGen Technologies because of their genetic knowledge of aging. That adds another level of sophistication in how we can create and develop anti-aging products, both in skincare and also in dietary supplements.
It's amazing you brought all this together.
Yeah, it's really a really powerful engine, and I think it's first of its kind in the industry, I don't think there's any other company in our industry that can match us for our R&D ability.
Right. So if you had to tell someone that's just looking at Nu Skin for the first time, from a product perspective and from a science perspective, what would you like them to know?
I like them to know that our products are manufactured and developed by the highest quality possible. Okay, I like them to know that these products will never ever embarrass them when they talk about our products. Okay, and the last thing is that our products, the reason why we do our scientific research, the reason why we want to be we are committed to be a science-based company is to make this promise, and that is our products are unique, we innovate, okay? When we make a claim, in other words, that claim is substantiated by science and evidence that the product works and it is safe. And then finally is to make sure that our products, when you take them, you're going to feel better, and with time you are definitely going to be better as you get older.
The difference demonstrated.
The difference demonstrated, indeed.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, Joe.
My pleasure, Greg. Hopefully we have another chance to sit down and have a chat again.
Great.